mining is okay. So far we will be discussing data mining today, and data mining is basically a form of data analysis, and it's basically a process where you collect large sets of data and analyze them to analyze the trends into that. We have discussed this quite into our last class that this is basically a form of an AI, and form of an AI. Why is the reason? Because this basically involves searching through and analyzing large sets of data so that you can possibly understand the trends and the patterns into that. Like again, further that information you could use to identify your future trends. So they might become quite valuable for the company. Like this is what we have discussed into our last class, that it is a form of data analysis, form of AI, involves the process of looking into pattern. And why is that? Because that information may be important for me to identify or to predict the future trends. Like future trends could be important. So now we will be discussing that what is the process of your data mining. So what is going to be the process of data mining, and there are multiple stages into that. Like stage one process of your data mining is your business understanding, and there are basically three main elements to the business understanding stage. And those three main understanding in this stage is the first of all, you need to set up your objective. The second thing is that you need to develop the project plan. And the third thing is that you need to establish the criteria for success, your success criteria, that is going to determine, like you are going to measure like if you are successful or not, depending on to that criteria. So there are three main elements into that, and in order to establish this kind of data, that means that the data has to be mined and analyzed, and the object of the business also needs to be understood. I Objectives of business have to be understood as well. Like the business understanding stage is basically the area where you are discovering your business, you are exploring it, you are taking in-depth analysis to check that what is the overall understanding of your business. So once your business has been established, then you can move on to the other stages. Like you can look for the resources available or look for that. So this is the first stage. The first stage is your business understanding, and here you set up the project, you develop the project plan, you establish the criteria. Now moving on to the second stage that we have right here is our data understanding. And right after the business understanding, that means that now if you are quite aware of the business, that how it is now, that means that now you need to move on to the stage two. Now stage two in your data understanding, that means that now you have understood that what your business is, you have completed the in-depth analysis, you have completed the discovery, you have explored it, you have developed all these things. Now you need to move on and understand that how your collection of data is going to work. So in stage two, this is basically involved on your collection of data. And in stage two, it involves a collection of data that can be like a collected form of data from various sources, collection of data from various sources, and just after that data is collected, you need to check for the collected data accuracy and integrity, like is it reliable or not, like is it something, it is providing you something that you can trust or not. So you also need to check for your data authenticity. That means that how much you can rely into that data or not. Now just after your data is established, you can start your queries. Like after establishing data, queries can be developed, and you can even start your interrogation, you can even start your cross questioning, you can start working onto that with the data that you have provided, like if it is going to give it, if it is going to give you your desired outcome or not. So this is your second stage. And then just after that you need to move on to this third stage. Your third stage is your data preparation, and in this stage, this is basically one of the largest stage in the project, one of the largest stage in the project, and it is one of the most time consuming as well. And during this stage, you need to take your data, you need to take your data through the process of your selection, cleansing, construction, and formatting to make sure that if it is in the required format or not. And just after that, you can allow for patterns and allow for patterns and trends to be established into the data. I hope it's clear to you. Just after your stage three, then we move on to our stage four, and stage four is basically data modeling. And in data modeling now just after the data, you can use different data models to display or model your data. Like this is the place where you model it, where you are representing at. Like this is the stage which is going to allow the business to understand whether the task or objective is being matched or not. Like when it comes to a data model, you can show different models and you can check that if that model is closely being aligned to your business needs or not. This is your fourth stage. Then just after that, you have the fifth stage of your data mining. And the fifth stage, does this data has to be allowed to be accurate. Data accuracy is checked in your stage number two, and data accuracy is also dependent on the objective. Like for example, if you are working onto some medical or chemical equipments, then yes, it has to be accurate. It is definitely has to be accurate, but just in case if there are other conditions, then approximate or might other values will work as well. Then for the fifth stage is your evaluation one. And in your evaluation, what you are basically doing is that you are evaluating the results that are being generated. Like I can say that results generated are evaluated, like the model is also evaluated, and the outcome of this evaluation, the outcome of this evaluation may produce new business needs depending on the patterns or trends that have been initiated into the process. So this is it for the fifth stage. Just after the fifth stage, then we move on to the sixth stage, which is the final one. And in stage six, we have is our deployment. And deployment basically means like you are launching the process, you are done completing it. So the deployment stage, it normally involves a report or visual materials, like this is the place where you need to present your findings and like presenting your findings to the data mining process or to the stakeholders of the business. And then depending on this information, you share it to the stakeholders. They can decide that what action they has to take into this business. Like for example, if the stakeholders feel like if this is not up to the mark, if this is not information like enough, so they might say that you need to complete it back again. But just in case, it's totally up to them. So deployment basically means like, for example, if just like I'm just giving you an example, like if you are pouring all of your findings right into this funnel, and with the help of this, you are creating some formal reports, and then you are submitting these formal reports to one of your stakeholders so that they can make a decision. So this is it. That means that now you are representing, you are converting all of your information into a formal way. So, any confusion so far?
No.
Now we need to move on and discuss that certainly what are some of the uses of your data mining, and some of the uses of data mining is the first usage that we will be discussing is going to be your national security and surveillance. It can be business uses. It can be research uses. It can be used in your, it can be used in your healthcare. It can be used in your ethical and privacy implications. So let's discuss these uses one by one. Okay, so the uses of data mining are increasing day by day, and many organizations make the use of data mining to aid the actions that the select to take. The first use that we will be discussing is going to be of your national security and surveillance. I can say that governments make use of this data uh, mining to aid the national security. What they can do is that they can analyze intelligence reports, they can analyze the terrorist activities, they can, and then at one place they can gather all this information. They can analyze the trends, they can predict the future activity as well, and that's how it can help you to reduce that the risk of attack or the dangerous into any country. The use of data mining in security surveillance is right important because it is helping you reducing the terrorism as well. The second area right here is of your business as well. But before than that, data mining is also can help us with the CCTV footages. Like you can record them, you can predict the issues, you can predict these activities. And one type of surveillance that data mining is used for corporate surveillance, where the corporation mines people data and then they use it for the mic, then they use it for their marketing purpose. They can even sell the data as well. Like with the help of data mining, there is a term that is known as data profiling. We can profile the number of people who are most likely interested into any single specific interest so that they can be targeted. Similarly, data mining can also be used in businesses as well. And in businesses, they can predict customers' spending habit, and they can test the conditions. They can predict them, like if most probably that which type of people are going to purchase which thing, so that they can have an edge over their competition. The third area is that in research and in research, it is also being used into to help revolutionize the industry. Like we have medicine, space exploration, engineers, and technology. We can use this data mining in research as well. In healthcare, it can be used to improve your healthcare. It can be used to identify success practices in health. You can just give it a read it, and I'm just going through them. It's just simple. Individuals and organizations have real concerns about their ethical and privacy practices. So this can revolve around the use of data mining. Like with the help of data mining, there can be certain issues. Like if a person search for a certain product or service, they may be bombarded with that similar product for a long period of time. So this happens with the help of data mining. So there can be serious ethical and privacy into that. Like for example, if you are looking for any interest, or for example, if you are looking for a specific game, so it mostly happens on the internet that you are bombarded with the same product or with the categories of that product. So this basically happens with the data mining, because it mines the data and only prompts to those customers who are interested into that. This is one of the area. Then last, I have some advantages and disadvantages of our data mining. That is quite simple. Like the first advantage that is right here is that it basically allows organizations to make a strategic decision, and it can help them increase their revenue. It can allow organizations to understand their customers and create products they need. It can allow individuals to see their products and on advertising based, and it can allow important institutions to predict the future crisis as well by analyzing the trends, analyzing the patterns. It can also save businesses costs as well, whereas it has disadvantages as well, like the process of data mining and the software is very expensive, and many people see the practice of data mining unethical and an invasion of privacy policies, because like just an example I gave you, because it bombards them. Like I have also the example of data profiling, like the people with similar interests are filed and the profile, and then the ad is only shown to them. So this might most not likely to be appreciated by those people. Storage cost is quite expensive as well, that is included into your data mining, because it has a huge amount of data. And but one thing is that if you have a huge amount of data, that means that you have a huge amount of data risk as well. The outcomes that are shared by our data mining are only prediction based, and they cannot be accurate, and it wouldn't be impossible to have them 100% accurate. So this is it for your data mining part. I hope you do not have any queries. The next item we have is your social networking that we will be discussing today. So when it comes to social networking, it is quite uh, uh, an interesting one. Like you can see the social networking applications all around you, like the use of websites or the use of applications, and then allowing the user to communicate and interact with you. This is what to be understood by the social networking. Social networking is basically the use of websites and applications that allow users to communicate and interact with each other, like relying it for social media for some news or for some entertainment, or I can definitely say that people uses social networking methods to share information about their lives, like how they feel, what makes them happy, like things like this. So, what is included into our social networking? One of the example right here can be like chat rooms, instant messages, forums, email, blogs. Okay, so let's start discussing this as well. The first example is of your chat rooms, and you're quite aware of that. That basically a chat room is an online service that allows multiple users to send a text message to each other, allowing them to chat with each other, and they are meant to be similar, like people gathering in a chat rooms or messaging them. So this is really simple. Like they can be used by individuals, they can be used by organizations, they can be used by businesses for having a feedback or for having a discussion. Like into chat rooms, you can meet people from all over the world. The second area is your instant messaging, and instant messaging is also you have into like your WhatsApp, your Messenger, and this is one of the earliest forms of your social networking, and it is designed to send a message into real time between two users so that you can initiate it. There are also like your group instant messaging as well, like WhatsApp, like many individuals, organizations use these instant messages, and individuals use them for sending these text messages. Businesses and organizations also use them. The third area I have right here is your forums, and forums is basically an online place where there are millions of users, and what you do onto a forum is that you simply post a question, and into reply of that there are many people around the world that can help you with that query, with that question. They share their feedback, they answer to that question. You can seek advice, you can just share your education, health, personal views, and there is a person named as a moderator that is keeping in view that all of this conversation is up to the mark or not. The next area is your emails, and emails is an example of an electronic mail that can be sent by that can be user, and it is an electronic version of a letter. You basically writes an address of the email and you send it to them. This is simple. This the then we have the blogs and the micro blogs. The blogs is basically a short form for your web blog, and this is an online version of a journal. Blogs can be set up by individuals or groups, and they are used like to normally to write a report onto an article onto any particular topic. They can be read by all the people around the world that have similar interests. Business and organizations also make uses of them, like for providing information to their customers, providing offers, educational facilities, and students also use them. This is there, you just need to go through them. This is a quite simple one. And going through, I mean to say that you are able to respond to the questions if you into exam. Then impact of social networking. This is what we will be not be discussing today. I guess we have done more than enough for today. Impact of social networking we will be discussing in our next class.